Many people with depression identify with having some sort of escape that helps them either ignore the depression, numb themselves to the depression, or overcome the depression. Escapes can be both good things or bad things. Basically, it takes that person away from the fact that they are depressed in some way, or helps them come to terms or cope with said depression. For me, escapes are pretty safe. I use what I call safe escapes, like sleeping, writing, or music. Those three usually help me get through the depression, although sometimes they don't, and I just have to simply power through it and be miserable for a few days, or be apathetic for a few days. But there are others out there who use severe forms of escape, like self-harm, drinking, or drugs even. And at one point in my life, I did use severe forms of escape, like self-harm, but that has been a long time ago. It was in high school, and I try to avoid doing that type of thing because I have convinced myself that depression is simply an obstacle that I must address and overcome, instead of something that I simply need to cope with or numb myself to. Keep in mind, sometimes viewing it as an obstacle doesn't always help for me. Sometimes that doesn't help my escapes. It doesn't help them to work for me. It really depends on how severe of a bout of depression it is. The last time I experienced a failed escape that went to shutdown mode was when I was in college doing my master's degree. I don't know, I had a really rough week. I was feeling very insecure. I had that voice in my mind telling me that I was never good enough, that I didn't deserve to be there. I tried using my escapes. It didn't work. Sleeping didn't even work. I just was depressed for days, and I was very unsociable. I had a very difficult time interacting with people. I didn't want to do anything, really. It spiraled into a very deep bout of feeling numb to everything, and it passed, and I got through it okay, because obviously I'm sitting here in front of you talking to you about it, but it was a very difficult situation, and usually I can anticipate when that's about to happen, and I can help myself create some sort of escape that'll get me through it. Lately, my escape from depression has been music. That's been helping me quite a bit. So my YouTube channel dedicated to music has been very helpful for that. There have been situations where it doesn't work, but I always try to encourage people to avoid severe escapes, because when we are in a depressed mindset, we don't always understand when is excess and when things are not excessive. I usually sometimes will say even food can be an escape. If you want to reward yourself with ice cream once in a while, go for it. But sometimes that can even lead to excess. Sometimes there can be excessive sleeping. I have gone through a situation where too much sleep has worked against me. If you sleep too much, you miss deadlines, you miss social gatherings, you miss a bunch of different other important things that you may need to do in life. So it's always important to do things in moderation, even with the safe escapes. Anyway, do you guys have any escapes? I would like to hear your escapes in the comment section below. Share situations or scenarios that you've gone through. Also, share your thoughts or stories with regard to depression in general. I enjoy reading them. And thank you guys for taking the time to watch the series. Stay tuned for the next episode, which will discuss losses of interest. That will be happening within the next week. Anyway, thank you, and you have a great rest of your day.